is Kat. This is Financial Fun with Kat, and I want to talk about Hills and Valleys funds. My husband and I have kind of developed a fund for almost everything, it seems. We have a bunch of separate savings accounts in our LA account to save for car maintenance and gifts for Christmas and birthdays. We've got something to pay for work on the house and an emergency fund. We have all kinds of funds, but the one we have not had in a while that we are setting up right now is something called a Hills and Valleys Fund. The Hills and Valleys Fund, quite simply, is just a fund that is there to help smooth out an irregular income. We have dividend incomes that we are actually pulling from to help pay down this house early. Those dividends are in a taxable brokerage account outside of our Roth, outside of the 401k, that we can pull from to help boost our income to get this house paid down faster. Normally, in an up year, things are great. This felt like a great idea at the beginning of the year, but here we are. It is April. Tariffs are in place. The market has gone nuts. If you're watching this 5 years in the future, look back at what's going on in April of 2025, and you'll see things are not stable. Dividends are not going to be stable. And so the plan that we had feels a little shakier right now. So what we've decided to do is just to make sure that we're not going to be stretched too thin, is we're going to create a Hills and Valleys Fund. And all it is taking the high months. Maybe I bring in some extra income from doing little side things that I already do. I have a good month that we don't need that income that month. I'm going to put it into the Hills and Valleys Fund. And what it's going to do is help smooth the ride for a month when we don't have as much income. Maybe the market doesn't do well and there's less dividends, or I'm not able to bring in the little bits of extra to be able to make our budget go as far as we want. We can pull from the Hills and Valleys Fund help levelize our month-to-month budget so we don't have these huge swings we're constantly having to deal with. I would like to be able to keep Netflix or Disney Plus. I don't want to have to go, well, last month I had $1,000 a month for food, but this month I might be able to spend $500. Beans and rice, y'all. Get used to it. That doesn't sound fun. But because my husband and I are really committed to getting this house paid off in 5 years or less, there is a minimum amount we have to put towards this house every month to hit that goal. And it's a big stretch. I wouldn't say it's a big stretch. It's a stretch. It's not going to be super, super comfortable. So there's going to be extra work I have to do to bring income up. And if we have extra income at the end of the month we don't need for something, we're going to put it into that fund for a while to help build it up so that when a low month does hit, it's going to hit, or we have extra expenses that we don't really want to cover with an emergency fund, we can pull from that, and it's not going to be such a big problem. How this could apply for you: if you are an hourly worker, someone who has irregular hours, or you're on commission, this is a great fund to have. You may have heard about a baby emergency fund. That's great for if your washing machine breaks, and yes, you can use it if you didn't get as many hours at work one week, but that's really depressing. Having some money set aside for those low-paying months so that you don't have to cut absolutely everything just because you didn't hit a sales goal is really nice. I would encourage you, if you have a variable income, whether it's from dividends, hourly, commissions, start this fund. It can save your butt on the hard months. So anytime you have a really good check and you don't need that money for anything, take a portion of it and set it aside into a savings account, high yield savings account, so it's growing and earning money. Set it aside for a month when nothing seemed to go right. It makes the journey easier. Imagine you are on this long distance journey. It's going to take you years and years of walking to get there. And in front of you, you see one path. And that path has big mountains and big valleys down. And you have to go up another big mountain and down into a valley. That's really, really hard. On the other side, you look at a path that's got some small little ups and small little downs, but generally speaking is pretty even. And it's been made even because someone has gone aside you and planned to smooth out the ups and downs along the way ahead of you. That's a lot easier for a long-term goal. You don't want to constantly have to fight a mountain up and then coast down into the, I'm losing in the analogy. You don't want to constantly have to worry about whether you have a ton of income or not. Smooth out the ride for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to do it. So you've got to intentionally set money aside and tell yourself, no, that's for a bad month. That's going to help on those months when things aren't so great. So we're working on that. We don't know exactly how much we're going to keep in that. We're just building it right now. With whatever extra money I can come in, I'm actually opening some savings accounts with some new banks, trying them out, seeing if I like them, maybe earning a bonus or two. But I won't get those bonuses for another 3 months, but that will go in there. I've got some games that I've just started doing on Swagbucks. I love Swagbucks. I've been with them since I think 2009, and I'm always finding ways to earn extra money there. And now I'm kind of putting a little extra effort in it now so that I have more money for this goal, keeping us having fun while still paying off this house. That's all we've got for now. If you need a bank with a high yield savings account, I personally love Ally. That's our bank. But there are tons of other banks out there. Laurel Road, Capital One 360 has a really good rate. Make sure that you are earning money on your savings. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. You are a gift. Thanks for watching.